has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast.
And we are back. Hour number 3, Ferrall, coast to coast, here on a Friday. Round number 2 of the PGA Championship in progress. We are getting close to the cut line here, getting ready for the weekend. And Keith Stewart from Read the Line has been with us all week down at Quail Hollow, and he is back again. Keith, great to see you again, my man. And I'm guessing it's still, I've been watching these guys obviously all day. It seems like it's, like you said to yesterday, it's getting hot and steamy again here in the afternoon down at Quail.
You know, Mike, good afternoon on a Friday to everyone here at C2C. And 5 inches of rain over 5 days come in before Thursday. All this heat, all this humidity, the water's coming right out of the ground. It's ready to suffocate these guys. The cut line is looming. Xander Schauffele is a storyline for me. This is just fantastic theater. Give me a lawn chair on the 18th hole. I'm all in for it.
Gotta have it. Let's start at the top here, Keith, and we're going to get to what's going on with the cut. We're going to get with some of these guys that are out here. Johnny Vegas, who, when we talked 24 hours ago, and it didn't look like he was going to even be the first-round leader when we got finished talking. He ends up finishing with a flurry and being the first-round leader at 7 under. Comes out today, plays great golf for most of the day. He got a couple lucky breaks on 14 and 17 when he hit that rake, and then doubled on 18 going in. He's at 8 under. I'd say he's either going to probably be tied for the lead or have the lead, depending on what happens here over the next couple of hours. But I got to tell you, Keith, Johnny Vegas has been very good to us. He's put some money in our pocket in the past.
True.
But I could easily see him shoot 75, 76 tomorrow, Keith.
Or more, or over the weekend, just shooting even par, and not being a factor, right? This golf course has continued to get harder, but these guys are the best players in the world. And everybody was freaking out yesterday because they didn't know anybody on the leaderboard when we spoke. But the fact of the matter is, by the time this thing is 54 holes over, after moving day on a Saturday, you are going to see the cream of the crop rise to the top of this leaderboard. There's no doubt about it. And I mean, Scotty Scheffler, he looms larger than anybody, sitting there in perfect position. He's coming into some of the birdies holes. He's got to survive number 12 right now, number 13, tricky pin on 12 today, and tricky pin on 18. But 12 has gotten a lot of guys. But he's going to hit the birdie zone of 14, 15, and then hold on for dear life at the Green Mile. I think Scheffler, he'll probably be almost even money by the end of the night if you want to bet him outright.
Yeah, I've been tracking it almost every half hour, Keith, just trying to see when the bottom is going to fall out with the Scheffler number. I thought he'd get to at least 5 under by the end of the day, right? And I think it probably looks like 6 might even be more realistic. And if he gets to 6, that's probably where the number you just said will happen. He's still plus 240 right now as we're talking. Now, Rory's made a little bit of a run to get himself back under par, but I just watched him take his club and smash it into the ground on whatever hole he's on right now. I guess it's 12. So Rory might be in a little bit trouble, Keith, and might be giving a little bit of that back.
So Rory had a great start. He's 4 under through 10, and then he 3-putts the 11th, and then he just hit a bad shot on 12. So now all of a sudden he's backed the car up in reverse. And really, when you talk about that group, and you're right, Scotty can go birdie on 14, 15, but you know what? He's only hit 3 fairways today, Mike. So at some point, I think there's another bogey in the works for him. I think maybe he finishes at 5, which still puts him in a good position. But the fact of the matter is that Xander Schauffele, who's the third guy in that group, has 63 cuts in a row. Consecutive cuts in a row. He's the tour leader, right? He's got 10 more than Scotty. That's on the line today. And he's probably got to get to +1. Maybe with a gift he gets the +2. And right now he's got the car in reverse as well. I mean, that's a storyline that's really significant because it's not only the cuts, he's the defending champion of this event. And, to me, I think that's significant because all year with the injury and everything, there's always been something kind of missing for Xander. If he misses the weekend here for his camp, 2 majors in 2025, it's far different than it was a year ago.
Now, I'm looking at it right now, Keith. They have it at +1 right now. Top 61 in ties at +1 for the cut. So top 74 and owner, 74 is at +2. Do you think we stay at +1, or are we going to get there to these guys in the 2 getting on board?
I mean, this is really where the theater is going to come in this afternoon, right? Okay. So the PGA is a little different than weekly on the PGA Tour. It's the top 70 and ties. It's not top 65. I'll say that again. It's the top 70 in ties that make the weekend in this major championship. And when you start to look at the Green Mile, and if you're not familiar with what that is, then you just haven't been watching. But if you're not familiar with it, it's holes 16, 17, and 18 down here at the Quail Hollow Club. Yesterday, those holes played 1.1 strokes over par. So just to give you an idea, Mike, they played 171 over par. Those 3 strokes, those 3 holes, right? Holes 1 through 15 only played 100 over par for the field, right? And today they're playing more difficult. The 18th hole alone with that pin position in the front left is playing more difficult than all 3 of the par 5s that are on the golf course. And that's a par 4. I think that these guys are going to struggle coming in, and I think there's a very good chance that it could slip to 2. That being said, somebody like JT is still out of the picture, but Xander's got to get some serious work done. Rory's got to stabilize the ship, and we would love to see that number get to +2.
Yeah, look, you've got a couple guys who are already in the barn at +2, including the biggest name would be Jordan Spieth, obviously. He finished at +2. He's sitting around. Tom Hoagie Sandwich sitting around at +2. They're hoping that they could somehow find their way to the weekend. I thought yesterday that today would be the day when we would see some bigger names maybe climb up this board and put themselves in a better position. To be honest, Keith, I mean, we really haven't seen it other than Scotty. Like, Scotty we kind of expected, but, like, the Ryan Gerards and the Alex Smalleys and the Matthew Pavons and, Poseidonhout, Thorbjornsen, Harry Hall, like, these are the guys that have kind of moved up a little bit today. But Max Homa and Matthew Fitzpatrick, those are the 2 guys maybe that I have my eye on here, Keith. What do you think about those 2?
Well, first of all, Mike, I think Scotty's getting to your head because you're missing somebody. The big man shot 68 today, Bryson DeChambeau, and he's poised at a number in the house. He's right behind those guys right now. Homa's impressive. Fitzpatrick's impressive. It is the 64 by Homa, awesome. But you know what though? It's a surprise. And it's the same thing for Fitzpatrick, who's still on the golf course. He's still got to get it through the Green Mile and, kind of secure the score that he is at. But both of those guys have struggled for at least a year, And so, yes, Homa has all of that great history here. He has won here before at Quail Hollow. The last 2 times, his last 2 starts here at the Wells Fargo were both a T8. So, yeah, he's in a comfortable place, but he doesn't trust his golf swing. So 2 more rounds with Homa seems questionable to me, and he's sitting right around that +2,000 number, +2,500 maybe by the end of the day. Fitzpatrick, he's almost one of the favorites, and you know what, he's won a major championship before. This would be his style of golf course, but he's been shaky lately too, man. I'm looking much more at Bryson, and of course obviously Scotty's sitting there right there next to him.
Now, you brought up Bryson. I wasn't going to leave him out. I don't have much time. I watched him a lot this morning. He should be like 5 or 6 under right now. Some of the putts he missed, Keith. Oh, my goodness. He's got to be kicking himself tonight.
I tell you what, we said at the beginning of the week when we previewed it, it was going to be a putting contest. And for him, where he's hitting the driver, he should be better. But you know what? Let's keep backing Bryson. I think he gets the job done.
Let's go. I like that. Bryson to win this weekend. Keith Stewart, read the line from Quail Hollow. We're back after this.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
knows how to show love to our everyday heroes. So if you're a first responder, you are in for some perks. Lots of hotels and casino offer big discounts to any first responders who can show valid work or volunteer ID. So treat yourself to a discounted stay. You deserve it. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The Warriors' future was uncertain. Are they going to break it up? Steve Kerr coming back. They get Jimmy Butler, and they surge all the way through, and now they're through the first round.
The Warriors have guys, because of how special their star three trio is, they can make the guys around them better. They can elevate the way that they play. And we saw that. Steph Curry, 3 points in the first half, steps up in the second half, 19 points in the second half to carry them home.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Under him was Sharon Moore, who also participated in the cheating scandal with Connor Stallions. So you know what happens to him? He doesn't lose his job. He doesn't get a 10-year show cause. He gets to keep his job, and they go, we're just going to suspend you for 2 games next season.
Now, all of a sudden, they're coming out with everything that we knew to be pretty much true when it was happening. Yeah, they were cheating. It was like Belichick and the videotapes, right?
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of 18.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Anyway, I always love when you get a chunk of Stewie. I mean, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
From the PGA Championship at Quail Hollow, your boy from Read the Line, Keith Stewart, just getting involved. And not only that, but scores up to date, which I always find to be convenient when I've got a gambling problem.
Yes,
Instead of
everybody
yesterday's
does
scores.
need that. Everybody does need that. That's for sure. Speaking of scores, 13-3 Cubs, top of the ninth.
Whoa.
They're about to finish off the White Sox.
What is happening?
Now, yeah, big effort by them. Now
There's the over. There's the
over.
over.
Now I don't know if you knew this or not, but it is rivalry weekend in Major League Baseball. Did you know this? That it's rivalry weekend.
I did know that.
For us. The Crosstown Classic, the Citrus Series. I didn't even know some of these had these
Freeway
names.
Series,
the Ohio
the
Cup,
I-70
Freeway Series, Subway Series, I-70, on and on and on. So Major League Baseball is trying to make a big thing out of this moving forward. Now, speaking of that Ohio Series, which is the Guardians and the Reds, obviously, in Cincinnati.
Right.
They were supposed to start at 6:10, but because of some bad weather that's going to be pulling into Cincinnati later, they moved this up an hour. They just started about 10 minutes ago, where you're going to have, obviously, Brady Singer and Tanner Bybee are going today. Who did you have in on this? I know the Reds were a slight favorite, and so it was 8.5 total with the wind blowing out in Cincinnati today.
Yeah, I like the Guards, believe it or not.
Guards. I like the Guards today, too. And Jose Ramirez just absolutely owns. I think I have Ramirez, by the way, on the Taters. I'll get to the Taters, but I'm pretty sure
Just
I had
slide
Jose
out
Ramirez
to
on
deep
there.
left, and he's already seeing it.
He's seeing it, and he destroys that Singer. He's got unbelievable numbers against that guy, so hopefully he can add to that later on. The Battle of Pennsylvania is part of rivalry weekend. Isn't your boy Adam Kaplan going to the game tomorrow? The Buccos and the Phillies at the
I
bank?
mean, that's a miracle that your boy T-Bag is actually leaving his house to go to a baseball game. I love me some busted cap in your ass. But, like, when he said he was going to the Phillies Pirate game, I almost had to call security.
Buccos will have Andrew Heaney tonight. It'll be Ranger Danger Suarez for the Phillies, who are minus 245, plus 2 Bills for the Pirates, and 8.5 for the total.
I mean, run line the Phillies at Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Just run line them every day. I'm going to give you advanced futures here on the weekend in the bank. I mean, honestly, free ATM withdrawals all weekend.
By the way, we were talking, I guess it was yesterday or the day before, about how bad Aaron Nola's been this year for the Phillies. They put him on the IL with an ankle sprain or something. I guess it was his ankle was what was causing him
his
to pitch so bad.
His pitching is what the
so
problem
far
has
this
been.
year.
So they're just saying that just to cover it up.
Just
how
to,
bad he's
just to
been.
cover
like,
it up.
what happened to that guy?
So
like,
you're
he
saying
was like
it's
the best pitcher in baseball.
A phantom IL stint here. They came up with an injury to get him on the IL, take him off for a couple of weeks.
No, I think as you and I both know that in baseball, certain players get multiple vacations. We call those vacations. They're not injured. They just need just like a restart, kickstart your heart. Like, can we get him a little Cabo, maybe Estes Park, Colorado, a little weekend up in the mountains, get away because you can't get anybody out. You might need a little vacation, little 2-week bender. Get a 12-pack on ice, get a little bottle, maybe some shots. Go out and eat some sushi, get some rest, have some sex. Everybody needs a re-up type thing, as you know.
Everybody does need that.
You go to the Wolf Lodge. I mean, you go to the lodge. Sometimes you got to go to the lodge, to the pool, to the mountains, and get away. You got getaway day. You got getaway Carver High. You need a little break. Sometimes he needs a break from Ferrall. Carver High needs a break from me. He needs a little rest.
Some folks like to get away. A little Billy Joel there. Some folks like to get away. Yankees and Mets tonight, the opening of the Subway Series in the Bronx, of course. Everybody's going to be yelling at Juan Soto tonight. You know what that means he's probably going to do. We'll get to the taters in a moment. Tyler Megill against Carlos Rodon tonight. Yankees minus 150. Mets plus $125. 8.5 the total. A rowdy evening in the Bronx.
I mean, they're both so good. Let's face facts. Both teams are having a great start to the summer. And, I'll never bet on the Mets against the Yankees. Can't do it. Give me Rodon and the Pinstripers tonight in the Boogie Down with a little, vengeance on Soto from the fans, the faithful, getting violent, abusive language 101.
The Nats and the Orioles get together. Mackenzie Gore and Cade Povich open it up this weekend at the Beltway Series. Minus 125 for the Orioles, plus 105 for the Nats, and an 8.5.
I'm going Tipper Gore here and the Nats. I hit him yesterday.
Wow.
Give me the Nats over the O's at Camden. I don't care where they play.
Tipper Gore getting involved. All right, Tigers and the Blue Jays in Toronto. Tigers have been just pouring on the runs lately. Jack Flaherty and Bowden Francis. By the way, Bowden Francis has allowed 12 homers in 41 innings this year. Plan accordingly for tonight.
Honestly, they gave Jack Flaherty that ring out in L.A. He hasn't gotten anyone out since. I mean, I'm not even talking win. He hasn't gotten one guy out. He's been so awful this year pitching. It's almost like I don't even know what's happened to him. But I think the Jays suck. So I'm taking the Tigers because of Baez, because of their bats, because of their record. I think both pitchers in this game are, I was going to say a really bad word right there. They're both hairdryer city. So give me the Tigres, the Tigers in Toronto.
Give me the over. Plenty of runs with those two guys pitching tonight. All right, we will go through the rest when we come back. A lot more games tonight.
Still underdogs, and home, on the road, and all of these games. It's time for people to start understanding it's a legitimate team that has a chance not only to win the series against Cleveland, but also maybe even go all the way to the NBA Finals.
I think a lot of the focus has been on why the Cavs have not played particularly well. A lot of that is due to injury, of course, but I think that's taking too much credit away from what the Pacers have done.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Malaysia Fawali, who you guys know I am a huge fan, has decided to switch allegiances and stay in league. And now she's going to go play for Kim Mulkey. Her, Flau'jae Johnson in the backcourt. It's going to be interesting to watch. You wonder sometimes with roster construction, maybe too much is not too good.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
Jason Tatum underwent surgery to repair a torn right Achilles tendon. That is obviously a season-ending injury, and you know that's long rehab. You're talking
That's a year.
That's a year.
I don't wish that on anybody. I don't. I hate that Achilles, knees and ankles. I don't like talking about them. I've said it a million times, but screw the Celtics.
Ferrall Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Carver High is on the verge of greatness with his baseball and tater picks for rivalry weekend. Say that 5 times on a bottle of Belvedere. But there are a lot of great matchups. I like saying it that way this weekend with teams that hate each other in baseball. And we continue to rock through the games for tonight. And they're all weekend long, like the 4 horsemen.
All right, this next one, I guess they feel this is a rivalry because the Braves used to be in Boston, I guess. Is that why? Like way back in the day? Is that why, I guess? I guess that's why.
No
but how
reason.
about this pitching matchup tonight? Former Red Sox, Chris Sale, returning to Fenway to face his former team, and Garrett, don't call me Davy Crockett because my name is Crochet, going for the Sox. I got this minus 110 both ways. 7.5 the total.
I'm going to take the Red Sox at Fenway here, unfortunately, and you know what it does to me to pick them. It just internal bleeding.
I know it does. It does bother you. The internal bleeding from having to do that. Completely understandable. The Marlins and the Rays, Sunshine State, down in South Beach tonight. Taj Bradley and Max Meyer are going this evening. Minus 130 for the Rays, plus 110 for the Marlins, and an 8.5.
I like the over, and I like Bradley and the Rays over Oscar Meyer.
Oscar Meyer. All right. Cardinals and the Royals. Andre Palant and Cole Reagans. Royals minus 155, plus $130 for the Redbirds tonight, and an 8.5.
I'm on the Palant and the Cardinals because they have been on fire. Plus 135.
Of course, yes. Of course, the Texans, the Texas Rangers and the Houston Astros started their series last night. They'll play game 2 this evening. Lance McCullers Jr. coming off that rough first outing of the year last weekend. Yeah, Nathan Nasty Nate Eovaldi goes for the Rangers, who are minus 2 Bills, plus 165 for the Astros, and a 7.5.
Give me Texas at Globe on the run line, plus $105 over death threats.
By the way, this guy's not on the tater list, but I thought I should tell you these numbers for tonight. Jose Altuve. He's got a lot of at-bats against Nathan Eovaldi in his career. 17 for 52 with 7 home runs. He's homered
Jesus.
7 times in his career off of Nate Eovaldi. He's like, you could probably find him around plus 900 tonight.
Let's go,
homer off
9-1.
of
Let's
Eovaldi.
go.
If you'd
Let's
like to
go.
take a shot with him, I'm just giving the information if you would like to do so. The Twins and the Brewers. Joe, don't call me Jack Ryan against Chad Patrick in Milwaukee. Minus 120 for the Twins, who have won, I believe they've won 11 in a row, right?
11
the Twins
straight.
looking for 12 tonight. 7.5 is the total.
Despite how unfortunate I find the Twins' winning streak, I will take Minnesota again at minus $120 to handle their business in Brewtown.
There you go. Colorado and Arizona in the desert. It will be Corbin Burns tonight for Arizona, and Colorado's going to start somebody named Carson Palmquist tonight. God bless him. Good luck. This might be the biggest number we've seen yet this year. Diamondbacks are minus 450, plus 350 for Colorado, and a 9.5.
I mean, there's only one way to bet it, the over. I'm not interested in laying 5 bills on anyone ever in anything, in any sport, at any time whatsoever. And Colorado is so awful that's what I got to deal with. I mean, I would rather be hit by a car at a crosswalk in New York City than bet on the Rockies.
The Mariners and the Padres at Petco. By the way, a bogey for Scheffler on 13. He falls back to 3 under. How about that? Logan Evans and Stephen Kolek tonight. Padres minus 165. Mariners plus $140 and an 8.5.
How about this? The Friars on the run line at Petco with the soft serve ice cream at plus $1.25. Come on.
We are almost there. We'll come back and we will finish the baseball. 2 more late night games and then some long balls for Friday night. Some Friday night rivalry weekend.
It's automatic.
Long balls getting involved.
How many did you hit last night?
Last night was we didn't have. Oh no, Max Muncy in the Dodger game. We had Muncy for the Dodgers.
Every
night.
night we're cashing tickets over here.
Still underdogs at home, on the road, and all of these games. It's time for people to start understanding it's a legitimate team that has a chance not only to win the series against Cleveland, but also maybe even go all the way to the NBA Finals.
I think a lot of the focus has been on why the Cavs have not played particularly well. A lot of that is due to injury, of course, but I think that's taking too much credit away from what the Pacers have done.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Malaysia Fawali, who you guys know I am a huge fan, has decided to switch allegiances and stay in league. And now she's going to go play for Kim Mulkey. Her, Flau'jae Johnson in the backcourt. It's going to be interesting to watch. You wonder sometimes with roster construction, maybe too much is not too good.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
Jason Tatum underwent surgery to repair a torn right Achilles tendon. That is obviously a season-ending injury, and you know that's long rehab. You're talking
That's a year.
That's a year.
I don't wish that on anybody. I don't. I hate that Achilles, knees and ankles. I don't like talking about them. I've said it a million times, but screw the Celtics.
Ferrall coast to coast. Only on SportsGrid.
The 2 guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The early line. Only on SportsGrid.
kidding me? The Freeway Series and the Battle of the Bay? Like, what is happening here?
Yep, Freeway Series and the Battle of the Bay tonight, just after 10 o'clock East at Chavez Ravine. Angels and the Dodgers. Now, the Dodgers will start Dustin May tonight. And, man, if I was the Angels, I know they don't got many options, but this is the last guy I'd want to see starting at Dodgers. This Jack Kokanowitz is going to get absolutely – he is going to get smashed tonight by this Dodger lineup. I mean, the way they're hit, look at how many runs the Dodgers have scored in the last week every day. And they're facing this guy tonight. Bad news. Minus 325 for the Dodgers, plus 260 for Anaheim, and a 9.5.
Dodgers, then you run line it, then you over it, and that's all she wrote. Have a Dodger dog and a freshie. Everybody's happy. Kokanowitz is dead meat.
And then finally, the Bay Area series, as you mentioned, the A's will be in San Francisco against the Giants this weekend. JP Sears and Roebuck against Logan Webb. Giants minus 205, plus 170 for the A's, and a 6.5 low total.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I like that under. I like Sears and Roebuck. I think that, look, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go Rogie Vachon, A's, over $160 with Sears and Roebuck to stun spinning a web.
How about that? There you go. Tonight's games, full night on a Friday, rivalry weekend. How about some long balls, too? Tater time. Now, I already told you one of them because it was starting. I have Jose Ramirez for the Guardians tonight. That game ended up starting an hour earlier, so plus 3 bills for Ramirez against Cincinnati and Singer, who he beats up. This Kerry Carpenter has been on a tear, and Bowden Francis absolutely stinks. Plus 300 for Kerry Carpenter tonight. I hate to do it, Scotty, but you know it's going to happen. You know Soto's walking into that place tonight, and he's going to hit a home run. So plus 320 for Soto, and if he doesn't hit it tonight, run it right back tomorrow and play it tomorrow because he's going to hit one against now, I wouldn't play him maybe against Fried on Sunday night, but I will go after Soto tonight and tomorrow. He will get the Yankees eventually. We like JP Sears and Roebuck, but this Heliot Ramos on the Giants, he destroys left-handers, especially with some power. Plus 450, I'm going with him tonight. Christian Walker, I told you all the guys on the Astros have great numbers against Evaldi, including Altuve. Walker is 5 for 9 with 3 homers off of Evaldi in his career, too. Plus 5 bills for him. And look at the long shot big bomb tonight.
Whoa.
The wind is blowing out at the bank in Philadelphia. The Bartman loves left-handed pitching. Ranger Danger Suarez on the mound for the Phillies. I'm taking a shot with the Bartman tonight at plus 630 at the bank for the Buccos. Let's go.
And give me Schwarbaum. He'll probably hit 4 home runs tonight against the Pirates.
If he doesn't get all 4 tonight, I bet you he'd have 4 combined the entire weekend. I'm pretty sure he'll probably beat the Pirates up this weekend.
It's embarrassing.
Your boy Schwarbaum. But there you go. Tater time for this evening.
Taters.
I'll tell you, there's a bunch that just missed the card too. I really like Bobby Witt too against Palante in the Kansas City St. Louis game, so I'm probably going to have him involved. There's a bunch of really good Tater. Salvi's been quiet. He hasn't been getting it done, but he's due. Salvi's way overdue for a homer, and maybe that comes tonight as well. All right, how about some football for you? I have all this schedule stuff that I never got to give to you yesterday, but before I get there, you and Gabe talked about this a little bit earlier. You see this? I guess it's a book coming out or the story that Wickersham put out about Caleb Williams and him and his dad, how they didn't want to go to the Bears.
Right.
And look, the timing of these things is always funny, right, Scott? You got a new coach coming in. He's already played a year there. I can't imagine that the fans of the Chicago Bears are going to take too likely to a story like this, that the guy didn't want to go and play there.
You know, one bright note here is that nobody in Chicago can read, so I don't think they're going to read the book. I think that it'll escape them and it'll, fly right over their heads. There's people that Bears, they don't have time to read books. They're drinking beer, old style. They're going to Cubs games. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have time to read and such. They don't even read the Trib anymore. So I think it'll go over their heads. But the reality is this. This guy is effed. How in God's name can they come out with a story that says this guy never wanted to play in Chicago for the Bears? Like, you cannot escape it or get away from it or run from it or hide. They will turn on this guy so fast his head will spin this year if they lose 2 games. If he loses 2 in a row, he's finished. I mean, they're going to run him out of town on a rail. If he said any of that he didn't want to play for the Bears, because I agree with Gabe, he's got to come out and say it's a lie. My dad's tripping. He was drunk. I never said that. I love the Bears. I want to win. I want to be a Bear. I want to win in Chicago. I love Chicago. I love this organization. You know what his problem is? He hasn't said anything yet. He's just let it fester and sit out there on the stove and boil. And I think that's a problem.
Well, there's apparently, the story goes on, eventually, allegedly, he got to his dad and said, I think I can do it for this team. His dad was really pushing it hard, and that he says he thought he could do it. Now, to be fair on this point, too, and they bring up some of this stuff in the excerpts or the book, whatever, it's not like he was wrong. Like, it made Eberflus and the Bears out to be complete morons. Like Williams said, I went in to watch film, and they didn't even tell me what to watch. I just kind of did it myself. Like, apparently, everything that they feared was kind of true.
I think they've been a terrible organization, Mike. I think they've been a terrible football team and organization, front office down, coaching. I thought Dental Floss was one of the worst coaches I've ever seen in the NFL. And people talked about him being this great assistant. My ass, he was terrible. In fact, I wouldn't touch that guy with a 10-foot pole.
Well, now they've got the next great whiz kid with this Johnson. So let's go see it with Ben Johnson. They got the great, they got the whiz kid now.
They already told us last year they were going to be good. Now they're telling us this year they're going to be good because they got this guy. And I think everyone's just absolutely drunk. Like, they don't win. And I've said this 1,000 times on this show. 1985. Do you realize how long it's been since they've been good? And don't tell me they were good when they made the playoffs since then, because every time they went, they lost. I mean, 27-yard overtime field goal, Shankopotamus. Don't get me started on how bunk this football franchise is. I'm sorry, they're a joke.
They have been bunk. There's no doubt about that. I saw this story. You sent it to me, too, that apparently people around the Pittsburgh area think that the team is going to make a play for Chris Olave, Saints wide receiver.
Christ, look at me worse. How many concussions has he had? It's Patrick Stefan. Here, let's draft a guy with 7 concussions. See how that goes for us. I want nothing to do with Chris Olave. My guy got his head rung twice. He gets concussions when he gets out of bed and bites into a donut. I mean, Christ almighty. Honestly, stop it.
He has unfortunately had a lot of concussions, Chris Olave. He has unfortunately had that.
I don't want him. I'd rather have a chick playing receiver for the Steelers than him. Honestly, like a flag football chick. Give me a girl that runs a 4.240. Thank you.
We will come back. I know that we're going to play Rich, and then after that,
Jesus Christ, I've heard it all. Honestly, I'm going to have a stroke.
How about all the Week 1 games and spreads for Week 1? I've got spreads for all the Week 1 games. After Rich Sermonello, we will go through all the Week 1 spreads. Take a quick look at them. Why not?
Okay. Are you kidding me? We got Rich Sermonello and Week 1 spreads? You got to be kidding me. And how about your boy? Vegas still by 2 over a pack of Wolves, including Fitzpatrick at Quail Hollow.
Yep, and the cuts moved to +2 also. All these guys at +2 might find their way into the weekend as the cuts moving on down.
Phil's going home. Shoffley's going home.
Still underdogs at home, on the road, and all of these games. It's time for people to start understanding it's a legitimate team that has a chance not only to win the series against Cleveland, but also maybe even go all the way to the NBA Finals.
I think a lot of the focus has been on why the Cavs have not played particularly well. A lot of that is due to injury, of course, but I think that's taking too much credit away from what the Pacers have done.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Malaysia Fawali, who you guys know I am a huge fan, has decided to switch allegiances and stay in league. And now she's going to go play for Kim Mulkey. Her, Flau'jae Johnson in the backcourt. It's going to be interesting to watch. You wonder sometimes with roster construction, maybe too much is not too good.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
Jason Tatum underwent surgery to repair a torn right Achilles tendon. That is obviously a season-ending injury, and you know that's long rehab. You're talking
That's a year.
That's a year.
I don't wish that on anybody. I don't. I hate that Achilles, knees and ankles. I don't like talking about them. I've said it a million times. But screw the Celtics.
Ferrall coast to coast. Only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
So, Mike, I have lived in Chicago. I've worked in Chicago. I think I got enough cred to say this. I cannot even believe that I am hearing that they're going to build a dome stadium in Arlington Heights by the racetrack. Like, how stupid are these people to leave Navy Pier and Chicago downtown, where they have been an institution forever? I mean, George Halas is honestly right now being eaten by maggots spinning in a grave. Like, are you kidding me that they're actually going to do this? They're going to move out to Arlington Heights in the middle. Edzo lives a block from there in the horse track. Glad they made Ed happy. No one else. I don't understand these people. They must be stupid. And give them the spew news on Purdy.
Yeah, why don't we do that next? Brock Purdy, 5 years, $265 million contract extension. That includes $181 million in total guarantees for everybody who doesn't want to get their calculator out very fast. Now, he didn't go all the way to the top. He's still pretty high. That's $53 million per year. $53 million per year for it. So that's $53 million per. Yes. Well,
he was the last player picked in the draft, and he's going to make $53 million a year. And everyone thinks he's Joe Montana. It is so funny to me.
That makes him the seventh.
It is so funny. How did he do in the Super Bowl?
Seventh highest paid quarterback AAV in the NFL. The seventh highest.
I have seen it all. I really have. Oh, man, are they going to get burned on that deal?
They will probably get burned on that deal. But he's Brock Montana. He's Brock Montana. I mean, anything, Brock Montana, anything is possible with him. How about some week one spreads? How about that? You want some week one spreads to chew on here? Let's do it.
Sir.
For us. Let's go. All right, so let's pull these up, Luke. We'll start, of course, we know the Thursday night opener is the Cowboys and the Eagles, with the Eagles now. I've even got some sevens. There's some 6.5s. The Friday night game, the Chiefs are -2.5 in Brazil against the Chargers. We'll start some of Sunday's games here, too. Washington -7 at home against the Giants. The Jags -2.5 at home against the Panthers.
Yeah, I like my favorite play on there is the Commanders. I looked at the Giants' schedule. They're going to be literally either 0-9 or 1-8. Their first 9 games are hell on earth, and they're going to get whacked in that game in D.C. That's automatic right there.
I agree with you on that front. All right, next set that I have you. These are more Sunday, early 1 o'clock in week number 1. The Steelers, 3-point favorites over the Jets at MetLife. How about that? Raiders visiting New England. New England is favored. Arizona -4.5 in New Orleans. The Joey Prawns week 1 special. Cincinnati, a road favorite in Cleveland to start the year in week 1.
I like the Bengals there, and I like the Jets based on Justin Fields will beat the Steelers because what I'm hearing is the plan in Pittsburgh is to run the single wing.
Well, they certainly don't really have a quarterback yet, right? They haven't officially. They don't have Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, I guess, is their quarterback right now, if we went that far.
The only Steeler game I want to go to the entire season, and I looked at all 8 games, and they're playing in Ireland. I wish I was going to that one because the rest of them suck. There's only one game I'm going to, and it's the last day of November against the Bills. That's it. And they'll get their ass beat by the Bills, too. I want to go watch Josh Allen have sex with the Steelers, and I'm going to spend about $5,000 to do it. I'll bring you if you want. If you want to finally do it, I'll bring you to the Steelers game with the Bills and go. We'll hotel, eat like a king, drink like a fish, and watch the Bills beat them by 25. That's my treat to you. My treat.
I haven't been
Tell
to
your
the
wife
place the
you're
Steelers
going on the
play.
road, airplane
The
rides,
place
the
the
whole
Steelers
deal.
play. Place
Stand
we
to
should just
Willie
make a whole
Bennett's
deal
haunted.
out
My
of it.
guy will set us up. Reno. It's all happening.
We'll have to. And with
Right
our
after
luck,
Thanksgiving.
they'll put the NHL schedule out, and maybe the Penguins are playing the Islanders that Saturday night at the PPG. And you got Penguins, Islanders.
I bet they will be.
Bills-
It's November 30th. Let's go.
We'll see if how the schedule works out for
Let's
that. All right,
go.
more games. Week 1 early. Miami will open the season in Indianapolis against the Colts. They're -1.5 for the Colts. Tampa -1.5 in Atlanta. Broncos -7 against the Titans. Cam Ward's first game. The Niners, a short road favorite in Seattle, division game week 1.
Yeah, my favorite game there for money making is Denver over Cam Ward in the Mile High City. They'll eat him alive in the thin air at that place. 90,000 people. He won't know what hit him.
He probably will not know what hit him in that circumstance. And finally, I believe this is the last set that I do have for you. Here we go. Lions and the Packers. That game will be 4:25 East on that first opening Sunday with the Lions -1 in Lambeau, 1.5 up there. Rams -2.5 at home against the Texans. Bills Ravens, the opening Sunday night game in the Below, -1.5 for Buffalo, and the opening Monday night game is the Vikings -1.5 in Chicago against the Bears.
Lions, Rams. My favorite is the Bills. That's the best play on that board. And the Vikings over the Bears because Caleb Williams wanted to play in the UFL.
Remember, this is also the last year of the old dump. The Ralph Highmark Stadium, whatever the hell, Rich Stadium,
What a shame.
all the names
What
that
a
they've
shame.
changed. I really should try to get up there one more time. Bring my kids there to see what an awful, god-awful place it is, but it's our place. Just like I did at the
never let
Coliseum
you live
with the
down
Islanders.
if you don't go to the Steelers and Bills game in Pittsburgh with me.
Steelers,
You will never live it down. I have offered you a free weekend of fun and exorbitant behavior. Drinking, eating, gambling. They have a casino there. There's hockey there. There's football there. I got great seats. And you can watch Josh Allen beat the Steelers. You're a fan if you don't go.
Still underdogs, home, on the road, and all of these games. It's time for people to start understanding it's a legitimate team that has a chance not only to win the series against Cleveland, but also maybe even go all the way to the NBA Finals.
I think a lot of the focus has been on why the Cavs have not played particularly well. A lot of that is due to injury, of course, but I think that's taking too much credit away from what the Pacers have done.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Malaysia Fawali, who you guys know I am a huge fan, has decided to switch allegiances and stay in league. And now she's going to go play for Kim Mulkey. Her, Flau'jae Johnson in the backcourt. It's going to be interesting to watch. You wonder sometimes with roster construction, maybe too much is not too good.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
Jason Tatum underwent surgery to repair a torn right Achilles tendon. That is obviously a season-ending injury, and you know that's long rehab. You're talking
That's a year.
That's a year.
I don't wish that on anybody. I don't. I hate that Achilles, knees and ankles. I don't like talking about them. I've said it a million times, but screw the Celtics.
Ferrall Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Honestly, I told you, we got to do leftovers because I already got bologna slices. I'm already sweating the next game, and it's in 2 hours, and I already got I got pre-drip. I got pre-game drip already.
Yeah.
I'm sweating right now this very minute.
Nobody wants to have that, that's for sure. All right, here we go. Leftovers. The Chiefs do have the most primetime games this year. They have 7.
Of course,
so lots of Kansas City Chiefs in your life. Dallas, Washington, and Philly all have 6 as well. The Eagles are the first team in NFL history. They're going to play 10 games against playoff teams from the previous year. That's a win. That's a win. That's a loss. That's a loss.
I hate them.
The Raiders named Brandon Hunt vice president of player personnel.
Another
God bless
Eagle.
him. Good luck.
Another Eagle.
The Seahawks envision Jalen Milroe playing a few plays every game. Okay, we'll see how that goes for them up there in Seattle. Why not? The NFL is going to vote on allowing players to play flag football in the 2028 LA Olympics. The league and the owners want nothing to do with this. It's the players that want to go, and that's where the fight ends up.
And I also, as you know, I already stated today, I want a chick flag football player over Chris Olave on the Steelers.
Yes, you did mention that, that is something that you would like. Speaking of the 49ers, they, of course, are going to give Brock Purdy a lot of money. They're selling a minority ownership stake at an historic $8.5 billion evaluation. $8.5 billion.
They're selling
the
it
Niners
to 3
are worth.
families. And, in New York, we have 5 crime families. They're selling it to 3 crime families in San Francisco.
Why not? Might as well go and get them involved. All right. And finally, a couple other things here for you. Let's give you the Preaknesses tomorrow. I know that It's Me, Gino B, gave you the picks yesterday. But if you are so inclined, there it is. The post positions for the Preakness. It looks like there's 9 horses.
Can I give you his picks really quick? 6 and 2.
Really fast.
6-2-9. 6-2-9 in the Preakness.
There you go. Also, in case you didn't know, because I didn't know until this morning, the WNBA season starts tonight. These guys, I guess these games are for real. So these are like the real games, the regular season, including, of course, Paige Beckers making her debut with Dallas. That's on the menu this evening as well. Caitlin Clark plays tomorrow afternoon. Indiana, and Chicago against the great Angel Reese. So,
Yawn.
WNBA season. Yawn indeed. Patty Pimblett is eyeing a fight with Justin Gaethje.
Violence.
But he's open to fighting Topuria also in the fight. So there you go, Patty Pimblett.
I like Patty the Patty.
Yes, Phoenix Suns, they've had quite a few couple months. They're being sued again by an employee citing allegations of discrimination and harassment. This is the fourth current or former employee of the Phoenix Suns in the last 7 months who has sued the team.
That is fantastic.
That doesn't sound good at all. That does not sound good for morale in the office.
I've never sued an employer. I just wanted to be clear about that. I'm cool with everybody. I love SportsGrid. Why would I ever sue? These people that sue. You remember that chick we knew that sued everyone she worked for? I hated that girl.
Yeah. Former Major League Baseball player Rafael Furcal facing 2 felony charges in South Florida. He was charged with aggravated battery with a deadly weapon and throwing a, quote, missile into a public or private dwelling. Now, I saw the real story this afternoon. Someone attacked Furcal. He attempted to defend himself with a rock. In the United States, authorities consider a rock a lethal weapon. They described his action as throwing a missile. It was a rock. Your boy was trying to defend himself, and it did not go well, just like it didn't go well at the Barcelona Derby when supporters were injured when a car drove through the crowd. What is the matter with these people?
So they were at a soccer event with Barca, and some guy drove a car through a crowd. People are driving cars through crowds now, like every month of the year. It's crazy. Perella finish. This one tops the cake. Remember when Chris Brown was like the hottest thing in rap music and like R&B, and he was good looking and he got all the chicks, and then he beat chicks up left and right, allegedly. Not allegedly. He did beat up chicks left and right. Well, he's at it again, arrested for smashing a tequila bottle over a music producer's head at a nightclub. And his mugshot is fantastic because he's now old and ugly. He used to be good looking, young, and violent, beating up women and everything else. Now he's just old, washed, and ugly. Front Office Sports is next, then GTD, then In-Game Live, and then Sports Rage. Catch Carver and Lisi. Get the Ferrall app. Search Ferrall. We'll see you Monday at 3. Have a great weekend.
Your college performance does not relate to the National Football League. It never
they
does.
They played side by side with each other, and he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. That's an issue. That's a major issue.
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers.
Ever got to Texas.
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. It was Quinn Ewers' program, which Steve Sarkisian made very clear the entirety of the time that Arch Manning was in Austin. So for you to argue that because Ewers is a 7th-round pick, Arch Manning is not that good and not deserving of being first overall is asinine. It is wrong. It is incorrect.
He's going to be number 1 overall. My whole thing was I'm buying
you're doing your thing now where you double down on a take that is incorrect.
The best quarterback prospect to ever hit college football can't play.
He's
over
not
a 7th-round
pick. There were 2 perfectly rated quarterback recruits in the history of the sport.
Quinn Ewers couldn't even play at Ohio State. He couldn't even play at Ohio State.
Quinn Ewers. Go look it up.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.